have Roger here, and we're going to do a demo of Keyword Spy, which is our on-page SEO tool. Keyword Spy is pretty revolutionary in the sense that we build your own AI models for you. So we've actually reverse engineered, or we've actually read, because Google's published publicly all the AIs they use for ranking. And so we've taken that list and we've found the open source versions, and we found how these softwares work, and we found ways of building these models. They're AIs to use for on-page ranking, which is RankBrain is one of them, neural matching is another. 3 is BERT. 4 is the helpful content, which we suspect are using a transformer, probably POM2. Review content, knowledge graph. So there's at least 6 AIs that we're building a model for you and finding the exact keywords you need to use for those different ones. And they all have a scoring system, and they give your words a score, and all those scores are tabulated up to be your whole web page. And then your web page has a score associated with its weight, its relevance to a particular search query. And they score your page along with every other page on the internet to a particular search query. So if I'm searching for ballet for adults because I want to take adult ballet class or something like that, it will look at all the words that all those AIs, RankBrain, BERT, neural matching, helpful content, review content, knowledge graph, which are all 6 different distinct AIs that work in different ways, that have different words. You need secret words you need to say to get the right score, to have a high enough score to rank higher than everybody else. And that's a huge part of the rankings, right? That on-page score you're getting is a huge part of the rankings. It's not all of it. There's links, of course, there's traffic. That's a page signal. There's other site signals that would help the pages on that site. But we help with the on-page, and then we're moving into site stuff as well. So I'll show you what you would do in the system. It's very easy to use. It does all this really advanced AI stuff for you without you really have to think about it or do much about it. And I'll show you how that all works. So here's trykeywordspy.com. Click here to get started for free. You can sign up with Google, or you can put your email in. And these are all examples of the ranking boosts that people have got from our system here. In fact, we have a contest every quarter, every month to a quarter. And Amos Struck won the contest because we can see in the back end all the rankings. And these are just some of the boosts that people have gotten from our system. So when you log into the system, then you're going to get this screen. And everything that's important is here on the left-hand side. Here's the different tools this system has. It has keyword discovery, Keyword Spy, AI Spy, reports, projects, and the editor. So Keyword Spy is what I talked about, building your own AI models and getting your best SEO keywords. It does the reports for you, and it scores out all the words and phrases you want to use. And you could use that you could just take that report and you can write it manually if you want. You can take that report and give it to your SEO. You can take that report and give it to your writer, and they can write it manually. We also, of course, have an AI editor that will automatically generate your article. It'll automatically generate all of your SEO content, your URL, your title, your meta heading, your metas, your headings, and it'll determine your images that you need to use. And it'll determine the right frequency of keywords you need to use and the right keywords you need to use for all of those 6 plus AIs that we talked about, and putting them all in the right frequency and all in the right spots. So as you can imagine, reverse engineering and building models for 6 AIs at least, and determining all of the right words to say in the right spots, in the right frequency for over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places is getting a little complicated, right? That's getting a little complicated. That's why we built this AI system to do it. Doing on-page SEO, it can be very complex if you're doing it well, if you're doing it properly. If you're just following the old outdated suggestions from 15 years ago, well, just put your keyword in the title. Well, yeah, 15 years ago, SEO was that easy. Just put your keyword in the title. Which keyword for which AI now? And which place and which tag? And how many times do I say it? All of that is tabulated. All of that is counted by Google. And so you need to tabulate and count it as well if you want to be in the right ratio of the right words in the right spots being scored by the right AIs to get the best score. And there is over-optimization. So if you go too far, which our system will tell you, if you go too far, then you are going to demote yourself strongly if you're too rich, because Google tries to stop people from doing what we're doing. Google tries to stop people from manipulating their system and having the perfect page because they want you to buy AdWords. That's why, for the main reason. There's many reasons why, but I won't get into that. But we want to rank. We want to have successful businesses. There's nothing unethical or anything like that about it. We want to rank, and we have good businesses, and we're going to sell good products to good people. And so we're going to put the keywords on the page. So we do all the tabulations of all the places to put your proper keywords. And it is way more complicated than just put a keyword here. It's put this spectrum of kind of keywords in this frequency, in this spectrum of spots. We do all of that heavy lifting for you. We do not only the heavy lifting of the reports to build the AI models to find out in your niche for your site, which is all different site to site and niche to niche, it's all different. We tell you what keywords to put in what spots in a report, what are the best ones, and then in the editor, we tell you where to put them, in what frequencies. And in fact, we even have advanced AIs to generate an article that'll do that for you. And it'll do it for all the spots. So Keyword Spy is your one-stop shop for all of your on-page SEO needs, plus a few other things that I haven't even mentioned yet. So that's what Keyword Spy does. You would build your reports there, and then you would see your reports under reports. You would categorize the reports under projects. It's a handy way to organize your reports into just folders, if you will. And then the editor is where you would build the article. However, that's not even the best thing about Keyword Spy. That's just the cake. Never mind the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake, and where the rubber really hits the road, and I think this separates the amateur SEOs from the people who are going to succeed, is this. It's keyword discovery. Our keyword discovery module actually finds you the best keywords you should be going for in the first place, right? Quite often people get ahead of themselves and they're like, okay, I want to make money. How am I going to make money online? I know, I'll rank for weight loss pills. Do you know how hard it is to rank for weight loss pills? Can you conceive of the last 25 years of your competitors building links for weight loss pills? Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how much money is behind weight loss pills? Like $1 million a month, right? For a good affiliate site selling the best weight loss pills and getting a good affiliate commission. I know, I've worked at major affiliate marketplaces like Cell Health, for example. Some of their organic sites are making hundreds of $1,000s a month. So you have some stiff competition in some niches. This is not the start of the internet. The internet has been going for 25 years already. So if you're just starting to do SEO now, you need a leg up. You can't jump in the marathon that's been going on for 25 years. They're 25 years ahead of you, right? And businesses have changed over so many times in those 25 years. It's not quite a 25-year head start. It's like a 4 or 5-year head start because those businesses have already made millions of dollars and sold out. There's been iterations of generations of businesses in those 25 years for the really lucrative niches, but they're still ahead of you. And so you really need to do the niche research ahead of time to find the keywords you should be trying to go for. If any of your clients are like, I want to rank for weight loss pills, go, okay, we'll try that, we'll do that. But it's really difficult. Let me do a keyword discovery report for you, and I will find you 5 to 10 per month other pages we should build that are going to be much easier to rank for, get you that traffic, get you into Google, get into Google's good graces, start building up the positive signals, because that's what it's all about, is you got to build up the positive signals with Google. If you just try to rank for the big juicy keyword right out of the gate, Google's going to take one look at you and say, no, never mind, and punch you out. You need to help Google. And how do you help Google? You give them information on something they don't have an answer on yet. And that is the low-hanging fruit. That is the easy keywords to go for. And so this AI helps you find it. But you're like, okay, Josh, what do you do? Ahrefs and SEMrush have a competitive research tool in it. Why aren't I just using that? Well, the reason why you don't want to just use that is because it's only based on links. SEMrush and Ahrefs are based on 10-year ago signal, right? Signals from 10 years ago with like maybe a little bit of specificity and what links are involved. This is actually based on an AI that looks at it as an actual SEO consultant would look at it, and it'll run it for you. So with that, let me show you how the system works. Roger, what is your main keyword you want to rank for? What is your main idea, your main seed keyword, your main idea?
Horizon Europe.
Horizon
Europe.
Europe. And what is that?
Right. Horizon Europe is an 8 trillion euro research fund that the EU supplies to its researchers. And it's every 7 years they renew it. So there's about €1 trillion a year goes out in grants and finance and tenders to researchers, predominantly in Europe, but not 100% in Europe. Now, a fortunate chain of events means I actually own that domain.
Okay.
I own www.horizoneurope.com,
Mm-hmm.
and I own www.horizoneurope.eu.
Okay.
And so the website is actually horizoneurope.eu because it needs to work with the EU, and .com has the occasional negative connotation, but .eu for an EU fund works well. And it also reinforces the perception that this is where they need to be.
Sure. Okay. So any kind of keywords around Horizon Europe, like what is it? How do I get it? Top 10 best tips for this. So that's good. We'll put in Horizon Europe. We'll do all locations and we'll say get results. So now that's pending. That's running. And it won't take that long to get it. I could have asked you these questions. I probably should have asked you these questions. Also, our system's going to generate how difficult it is. And to do that, we need to ask you some questions to find out some SEO factors about you. Again, it's much more robust and much better than, say, Ahrefs or SEMrush or that kind of tool like that. It's just doing a dumb kind of how many links do they have? And that's how difficult it's going to be. There are far more algorithms out there than just links, right? So I should have asked you, are you a top-level expert in this topic or niche? And when I say that, I mean, if I were to search Horizon Europe authors, would you come up in the top 5 is what I would be saying, your name.
No.
No. So then I would leave this off. The next thing I would ask is, do you plan on using AI content?
No.
Okay. So that means you're planning on not using our editor, which is fine. You don't have to. But if you were going to use AI content, I would have selected this before doing the report. And it would have made it slightly more difficult to rank. As presuming in this case, just using proper risk mitigation factors. Not that it's true that using AI content means you can't rank. You have to be in the right numbers is all you need to be. Whether it's human written or AI written, you need to be in the right numbers. So when it comes to the right numbers in the editor, I will tell you what that is a little bit later on. And everything would be fine. We know that for a fact. We can see all the rankings in the back end. But for risk mitigation here, I would have made it slightly more difficult in the system if you're using AI content. Because I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how, if you're going to, it didn't mean our AI content. Our AI content is great.
No.
You could have just fired up ChatGPT and then pasted it into a web page. That would have been terrible. That would have had terrible numbers and wouldn't have ranked well. I know, I've seen the stats and done the experiments. So I would have made it slightly more difficult. The difficulty scores would have been slightly higher. And then the last thing is already using a powerful site or a high domain authority.
Yes.
That already ranks really well in Google. Would you say that it already ranks really well in Google?
Yes, it does.
Okay, then I would have clicked this and then it would have been slightly easier. I didn't click any of these things, but that doesn't matter. The difficulty numbers are still going to be within 20, 30% of what they would have been on anyway.
Okay.
So we've done all that. Now the Horizon Europe is done. So now what it's doing is it's giving you in all the global locations, all the different keyword ideas. AI branched out. It found about 1,320 keyword ideas that it thinks is relevant to whatever Horizon Europe is about. And it doesn't know how tightly focused on Horizon Europe you want to be. Yeah. It's going to give you, and in fact, that's the whole idea. The whole idea of keyword discovery is to cast a wider net of what you originally thought about and to use the AI to come up with interesting ideas, 1,321 of them in this case. From one seed keyword, you got 1,300 keyword ideas here, and it's going to cast a wider net and say, hey, did you think about writing about this? Did you think about writing about that? Because it's going to tell you which ones have the highest ROI. The ones that are going to make you the most money is what it's going to tell you, and then we're going to factor that against the ones that are the most difficult, right? So let me break down how this works before I'll narrow down to keywords you want to look at. So first off, we have a SERP button here. If you click this, you can see the search for the particular keyword. We have how much Google Ads competition it has. We have the year-over-year change. So how popular it's been in the last 6 months. These are down to 9 or 13%. Small business funding is up 40% in the last 6 months, which is interesting. And then how much the average Google Ads CPC is, the cost per click. How much are people willing to bid on these? The standard marketing rule of thumb for marketing cost versus revenue is around 10%. So if people are willing to bid more money on, say, small business funding, they're willing to pay $5 a click. That means you can make much more money on small business funding than you can, say, on funding or small business grants, for example, which makes sense because small business grants, I don't know about you in the UK, but in Canada, small business grants means you're asking for free money from the government, and there's less money there to sell to people. As opposed to small business funding means that all kind of lenders can get involved and they can make money on percentage of giving you funding, right?
Yeah.
So that makes more sense. There's more money to be had in this keyword, and that's why this click is higher. This cost per click is higher. And then we have the average monthly search volume, which is a major factor in the algorithm. Then we have the keyword ROI. So this is first, it's sorted by the keyword ROI. So it ignores how difficult it is to rank for any of these things. It hasn't looked at that yet. It just finished the report on how the difficulty here. It's looking at the keyword ROI. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a search here for Horizon, and I'm going to tailor it down to Horizon keywords here. And so we've got those now. And I'm going to do a report on the 20 of these ones that are probably a little closer, laser focused to where you want to be, probably. These keywords here probably make more sense.
Yeah.
Horizon Europe Work Program 2023.
Yeah, long string keywords.
Yeah, exactly. So they had the highest keyword ROI. You see this one scores 15,000. This was a score of 1,700. A big precipitous drop between this one and this one. But anyway, they're all relative to each other. And so I'm doing the keyword difficulty on these. But I'm going to get rid of this search here and go back to what I was talking about. So right now, these are sorted by the keyword ROI. And that is just the return on investment for spending money on this. At the end of the day, it's a business decision what keyword you try to rank for. And you need to make a good business decision or your business is at risk. That's why I suggest before you start any SEO project, you need to start here. You need to cast a wide net and find keywords you never even dreamed of ranking for, because that is 75% of your success right here. 75% in my experience of doing SEO for 25 years. 75, and I have a TEDx talk on SEO. I have been honored in SE Roundtable on SEO. I have a PhD. I have mild autism. My IQ is around a 160. I have a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. 75%
of success in SEO is doing the right research to rank for the right keywords to begin with, as opposed to just doing whatever the client told you. I want to rank for buy gold now. Okay, you know how hard it is to rank for that? I want to rank for best weight loss pills. You know how hard it is to rank for that? Let's cast a wider net and find keywords all around gold. Let's find keywords all around weight loss and start ranking for those and build up credibility with Google. And then we're in a striking range to start ranking for the juicy keywords. So you got to do the keyword discovery. So the keyword ROI is telling you what will make the most money. It has the most traffic and it has the highest clicks and it's the hottest. That's what keyword ROI is. It's monthly searches or traffic times the average cost per click and then times the year-over-year change. That's what this blue bar is. Now, what the keyword difficulty is, this is the percentage of how difficult the keyword is. And it's using a proprietary algorithm for competitor analysis that only could be done with advanced AI or by human, and no one else is doing. So let me show you how this works. So the keyword difficulty here will show you how difficult a particular keyword is. So let's look at small business funding again, which was one of my favorites here, because it had a higher trend value and it had a pretty good traffic value here. So let's look at it here. Now, this is what the keyword difficulty report gives you. It's for small business funding. It also gives you the date. And we didn't select any of these, so it's not being factored in. But you have a powerful site, so it might be a little bit easier maybe if it was on this topic or close to this topic, if that's what Horizon Europe is about. I have no idea what Horizon Europe is. That's the other thing about being an SEO, is that it might not apply to you, Roger. You probably know Horizon Europe inside and out, which is a good thing. But for many SEOs, we don't know what the heck you're talking about. I had to ask, what is Horizon Europe? I've never heard that before. It's not even from my continent, right? I've never heard of this thing before. No. But we SEOs, we're asked to write articles on stuff we don't know all the time, right? And so we need an AI tool to help us do the research to find out what this even is and what it's all about and how difficult it's going to be. So this is how this works. This is giving me for small business funding, and we're going to look at your Horizon keywords in a second. But for small business funding, this is giving me all of the top 10, and it's giving me what it took for them to be there. And it's giving me a much more accurate distinction of what it took for me to be there. These ones here and these ones here are all on-page signals. These 6 here, these 3 here, and these 3 here, 6 in total, are on-page signals and on-site signals. This is a link signal. This is a link signal. This is a traffic paid signal, which tells you how much money they have behind the keyword to buy links and to buy traffic and to do other ranking things. This is the organic traffic they're getting, which tells you how well they must be converting and tells you how much sales they're making, how much money they're getting, and tells you also how much money they can therefore be putting into links, for example, or to be buying SEO help or support, for example. And this is their brand awareness that the AI has noticed. Oh, this is a big brand, SBA. Oh, this is a big brand, US Chamber of Commerce, Government UK. These are all CNBC. These are all the big recognizable brands. They're going to have brand recognition, have people searching them, people talking about them. They're going to have way more signals here that is represented in this penalty of 15%, making it even harder to rank. So this is all averaged out into an average difficulty of 34%. And so let's drill down a little bit and see how well this AI analyzes your competitors. It does it way better than everybody else. For example, it checks to see if this query, small business funding, is even the main focus of the page. It's not for most of them. It's not the main focus for the page. It is 20% for these guys and 10% for these guys. Is it even the main focus of the title? Yes, 100% for these guys, small business funding, but not for anybody else here, which is fascinating. Is it in the URL? It is 100% for these guys, but not for anybody else here, which is fascinating. Here's their old page rank out of a 1 to 100. Page rank, oldie page rank was a 1 to 10, but really it's 100. It's a 100% factor. It's a point XY factor. So this is a page rank of 2. This is a page rank of 3. This is a page rank of 7. These are very high page ranks, right? Those are all very good link juice that these pages have, making it even more difficult. Like look at some of these difficulties, 50%, that's pretty damn difficult. 68%, these guys are laser focused on this thing. Oh, they're not even at the end, there's more. 68%, 40% is high, 42% is high, right? Then we could see the actual backlinks they have. We could see what kind of page rank they're generating out of so few backlinks, right? We could see the kind of traffic awareness they have and how many they have. This guy only has 18, this guy has 60, this guy has 50. Okay. And then lastly, the brand awareness as well is all tallied up into a total score. Now, the green one here is our AI telling you it thinks this is the weak link. This is the easiest one, all scores measured equally. This is the easiest one for you to knock off. It thinks this is the golden spot, if you will. And so you would do well to click on this guy and see for small business loans, is this, look at this kind of review style article. Look at what they've been doing. Look at what the kind of stuff they do. Oh, they have, they're losing their page rank every time they put a link here. That's not good. They have an author and he has an author profile. That's good. Depends on how good of a author he is. If Google knows who this is. They've got you lists. That's good for CRO. They're starting to explain stuff. They got more links, losing their page rank. That's not great, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You need to look at this article and see, can I beat this guy? Can I make a good article just as good as this guy? You need to decide if you can do that, because at the very least, he's the one weak link here. He's not the only one, but he's the weakest link. There's another one at 21. This guy here, but that looks like a European. That looks like a government article. There's another one that's NerdWallet. NerdWallet is a very well-known in the finance industry affiliate style review site. They're not focused necessarily on small business funding. So if you made a site more focused on it, they're only 10% focused on it, although the page is quite focused on it and the title is quite focused on it, but they don't even have the EMQ in the page. If you made your site focused on small business funding, you have a much better chance of beating NerdWallet. So our AI gives you a much better information as a business owner and as an SEO. It spies on your competitors and gives you a much better intel, quite frankly, as to whether or not you should make a move on this keyword, whether or not it's going to be super hard to rank for or super easy. And then finally, the average difficulty here, 34%, is I'd say pretty high. Anything that's 50% or higher is quite difficult. And as a general rule of thumb, here's another interesting stat we know from the back end of the system for Keyword Spy. As a general rule of thumb, and this is borne out for months, so the more data we get, the more true this becomes. You can double this number. And if you make your page an editor and you follow our recommendations and you get everything in the green, you can guarantee that you double this and that's the spot you'll come in at. So at an average difficulty of 34, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to come in at spot 68, give or take 5 spots. You're going to come in at spot 68. You're going to come in at page 7, just by doing on page in our system for such a lucrative keyword as small business funding. If you can rank on page 1 for small business funding, you know how much money you would make? A lot of money, right? So we can guarantee you page 7 based on the stats of what we have if you use our system and if you follow all the rules. If you go off book and you start doing weird stuff in your SEO that we don't have in our system, I don't have the stats for that, I can't tell you what'll happen, right? But if you follow our system, generally you can double this and you can come in and run page 7, spot 68, the bottom of page 7 looks like. Page 7, page 8. To which you might be like, wow, page 7, page 8, that's really far from page 1. That's really terrible, Josh. And I would say, no, it's not. Absolutely no, it's not. Do you know how difficult it is to rank for small business funding? Like maybe this was a bad example of something that was really hard to rank for that I grabbed to show you how the difficulty worked. But show me the tool that can guarantee you a spot on the SERP, and I'll give you a free month of Keyword Spy. Show me the tool that can guarantee you a spot on the SERP and that works and has the stats behind it like this tool does, and I will give you a free month of Keyword Spy. I can guarantee you if you follow our stuff and if your site isn't totally broken, you'll come in at page 7 or 8. No one else can guarantee you that. This is doing SEO professionally. SEOs who can't tell you exactly where you'll come in and how long it'll take are not professionals. You can be a professional. All you have to do is use Keyword Spy and you'll see it. So now let me go here to keywords that are probably more related to what you're focused on. Hopefully the keyword report is done. It is done. Okay, so here's the keyword report for all the horizon-based ones. And lo and behold, there's some very much easier keywords here to rank for. I'll sort it by easiness first. And so here's your keywords, Roger. Here's the ones that look good for horizon, if that was more what you want to focus on. Here's one that, it's up 30%, widening horizon Europe. It's up 30% for the last 6 months. People are paying $3 to $3.50 American to have spot number 1 for it. And it's getting 90 search. The trend value is pretty high. And look how easy it is to rank for. Average of 20%. Look at the low-hanging fruits, 13% difficulty. The title is really focused on it, but the site is not focused on it. The page is focused on it pretty well. So you got a competitor here for sure, but they have like no page rank. They have 0.8 page rank. They have 28 backlinks, and they get 5 searches a month on it, where they are in the SERP. You could take this spot. This should be available for you to take within weeks, right? Within weeks. At average difficulty of 40%, you should come in right at spot 40. Right at the bottom of page 3, top of page 4 is where you should come in just by following our system based on this. And in fact, for your site, if it's true that you're a powerful site, which I'll take at your face value, but our system doesn't know yet. We don't have the AI built in to check your site and to check your math yet, so to speak. We're building all that in, right? We're building an AI that's going to check everything you do and tell you, oh, you missed this keyword here. Oh, you did that there. It'll just be like an assistant who's over your shoulder helping you out. The way I want to extend this system in the future, we're still in beta right now, quite frankly. Yeah. But in the future, what do I want to do is I want to have an AI that actually spiders your site and says, great, yeah, you do have a powerful site. I'm going to give you, an extra bonus of 10% ease here. Or it's going to say, you know what, based on what we think you need to work on these things, I'm going to give you a penalty of 20 here for the difficulty. But it's going to give you accurate, actionable information. And accurate, actionable information, I can't even say in SEO that accurate, actionable information is worth its weight in gold. because it's better than that. Accurate, actionable information in SEO is unheard of. It doesn't exist. Accurate, actionable information in SEO, right? It's all hearsay and fluff from snake oil salesmen and public relations lies from Google. That's where the industry is right now. So to have accurate, actionable information in SEO is more than worth its weight in gold. So I stand behind this difficulty of 20% on average. I say this guy's weak, he's ready to be knocked off by you. I say this guy's weak, he's ready to be knocked off by you. I say this guy here is weak as well, he's ready to be knocked off on you. They're not even focusing on the EMQ in key SEO spots. They don't even have the EMQ in the key SEO spots, right? Like, I mean, their page focus is pathetic. They're only 26% focused on this page. Come on, you can make a page focused on this completely, and you have a much higher scoring page for Google to rank here. So what do you think, Roger? Are some of these keywords looking juicy to you? Horizon Funding UK?
Yeah. I mean, all of those apply. I'm looking at the volumes, which seem to be low.
Yeah, some of them are low. This is 1,000 though. This is pretty good. 880. It's not so much the traffic, right? Like, you're going to build your way up to the higher traffic. The low-hanging fruit is the way to go. The path of least resistance is the way to go in this regard. And I wish I had learned that early. When I was younger, I don't know if you experienced this, Roger. When I was younger, I was always like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. You got to do it right. Like, why aren't we going, let's shoot for the moon? You know, young enthusiasm, right? Naivete.
Even now, anally retentive on the website. Completely, never good enough.
Right, yeah. But there's that too. But I mean, like, I'm shooting for the moon when I'm younger, and I didn't learn the path of least resistance. And you got to build up credibility with Google. Google's not going to rank you for a big, juicy keyword right out of the gate, right? It's not about building that up. It's about building up your topical clusters. It's about building up your silos, building up your supporting pages that are also going to be money pages in this case. This is going to make you money. These are queries you want to rank for that you never would have thought of ranking for. These are 260 keyword ideas you never would have thought of before. And now they're outlined in terms of the ease of ranking first. And these are the first ones you build. You build out these guys first. Here is what you do.
Okay, so once I've done this, and I get the report will tell me what I need to do on each of the pages, yeah?
Exactly. So that's what we're going to do. So let's take Horizon Funding UK. I'd like to choose one that would actually be good for you. Horizon Funding UK looks good on paper. It's got $4 a click. It's up 50%. Yeah. It's got 70 searches, and it's super easy to rank for, 22% difficulty. You should come in on page 5, squarely on page 5, just from on page alone. Maybe even higher. You could see I'm being very conservative in my estimates, right? Page 5 is not an unrealistic expectation, right? I'm being very conservative with my estimates, but I'm very accurate with those estimates too. So then I'll highlight this, I'll click this one, and I'll say, start keyword report. And then it's like, okay, is there a particular location? No, I'm going to use United Kingdom.
No, use Europe. Okay, no, use United Kingdom. Use United Kingdom.
Yeah, I have to go to an actual country, so I'll go United Kingdom. There's no stop words. I'll say 100 for the SERP result limits. I'll do spray and pray because it's faster, but you can go more accurate. That's going to be like for the highest niches. For this niche, all we need is spray and pray. We can do a quicker report, spray and pray. We're going to use Google UK, United Kingdom. That's fine enough. In terms of the competition, that's fine enough. Yeah. And we're going to say continue. Okay. So now it's going to automatically do that report. It's going to analyze it. It's going to do it automatically. And that could take anywhere, depending on how busy the system is, it could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on how busy the system is. It takes time and compute power and a lot of money, quite frankly, to build up actual AI models for all this testing that we need to do. We need to scrape all your competitors. We need to scrape the entire niche. We need to do a lot of AI analysis on all this data. So I'm going to actually go here to a report I've done previously. So after you do the keyword discovery, you would just start them there, or you go to Keyword Spy and you put the report in here. We have built-in tours, by the way, that guide you through the whole system, that tell you exactly everything, how it works and what it is you want to do and how all that works. We have all these reports that do that for you. But that would just run the report. You see here that's going here. It's already running. And I'm going to
Yeah.
go to an existing keyword. I'm going to go to one that wasn't spray and pray so you could see everything completed. So we have AI photo booth, a very new keyword, AI photo booth. So this is the reports section of Keyword Spy. And this is another jewel of the system. This will tell you data and is analyzing keywords in a way that no other tool does, So we have a report on each of the different AIs that we build for you. So we have a RankBrain report, which you're looking at here. We have a BERT report, neural matching, image entity, which is the knowledge graph information for your particular image and how you should do that and flesh that out. DOM vector, which is another whole AI, which looks at the machine learning of the document object model, which is the object model that's extracted from your HTML that Google indexes in spiders. This tells you how your web page should be designed to be in the right frequencies for all of your competitors. Then we have a competitor analysis. We have the most powerful competitor spy tool on the planet. And then if you're a member of Underground SEO University, which is where all this information and reverse engineering comes from, you have a test page generator that will generate all your test pages for you if you want to manually test any of this stuff or go deeper with deeper science. And then we finally have results. You don't have to worry about copying the results from all these different ones. They are all tallied for you in results here for you automatically. So for RankBrain, this is what I like to do for RankBrain. For RankBrain, I like to look at the bigrams, trigrams, and quadrams, which is the double word phrases, the triple word phrases, and the 4-word phrases. And I like to look at the precipitous drop between the usage of this phrase versus the usage of this phrase, or the usage of this phrase versus the usage of this phrase. And it starts giving me very clear ideas about the term weighting that's being used and the entity detection that's being done. And so new first to market is being used a lot. You see it's 87776. There's a very gradual decline here. This is all useless data. It's not telling me anything. AI photo booth has got 36 absolute frequency in the top 100 uses. Virtual photo booth has 18. There's a pretty big drop there telling me that if I want to rank for AI photo booth, surprise, 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 I need to talk about AI photo booth. Again, not a huge surprise there, but this can surprise you sometimes. Sometimes in some reports, like I'll show you, for example, for ballet for adults, adult ballet classes suddenly is a major word here that for ballet for adults needs to be considered, right? Yeah. And is a much bigger, like you never would have thought of the word classes. You might not have thought of that needing to go in your title, for example, or needing to go in your
I remember
URL.
watching, you did a video on it, on the ballet classes and whatever. I remember watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So for this particular one, photo booth is much more important than AI photo. And so, the photo booth entity should be mentioned a lot more on the page. So all this is going to be scored and tallied up here in results. And so all the different tests are done here. So at the top, we have all of the different actual entities that Google wants to see, and we've scored them for you. So when people search for AI photo booth, they want to rent a photo booth with AI capabilities. They want to discover the latest AI technology in photo booths. You need to say these words on your page to get the actual highest score in these AIs like BERT, like neural matching, like RankBrain. Okay. They want to find an AI-powered photo booth. Now, you don't need, this is just reporting on all the entities you need to say, both the phrases and some phrases you would never have thought of, like the AI photo booth experience, or the AI photo booth features, or the AI photo booth technology advancements. This starts telling you about how your article needs to be constructed and what you need to say to show you have the expertise, to show you have the experience, you have the authority, you have the trust, to show you're good for EAT, right? Or I like to call it HEATS, right? The helpfulness, experience, expertise, authority, trust, and timeliness. You need to be timely as well. You need to have the latest information. Query deserves freshness, QDF. So it shows you the phrases you need, and it scores them in a proprietary scoring system based on all of the AIs, just like Google does, a variable scoring system. But it also shows you for each word entity as well, because some of these AIs work on words and they do not work on phrases, like neural matching, for example. I've tested this and I know this for a fact, that neural matching works on words. It does not work on phrases, whereas BERT works on both words and phrases, depending on which one, TW BERT or BERT. RankBrain works on both phrases and words as well. So there's a mix and match there. And so we score them all up in the different tests, and it's all weighted to the tests that have the highest accuracy / the highest ranking factors until you get the highest score words you know you need to use in your most important SEO spots, which if you don't know what those are, we'll tell you in Editor. In Editor, we'll take them automatically and just use them. And if also, you could also write it, you can edit it with your human self as well in our full WYSIWYG editor. If you think your SEO, you know, I do SEO like this, Josh, and I want to put my keywords in these places, fine, go ahead, you can do that. You don't have to follow our scientifically proven way of doing it, our statistically correlated way of doing it with the way everyone's doing the system. You can do it your own way too. You can mix and match, and you can do that in the editor. So these are all scored up like this. And you can see each AI is scored up. And you can see some have a lower score, right? Like video has a lower score in the BERT testing, and it scored really well in the neural matching rank brain test 2, which nobody else in the industry does. But it scored only 5 out of 10 in the neural matching rank brain test 3, which nobody else in the industry does, to get a total score of 16. So it's all prorated. So it's going to stop you from making mistakes. You think the concept of video is so important to the AI photo booth, and you want to mention it so much in your page, right?
And nobody cares.
But nobody cares, or at least Google doesn't care. Yeah. Google's like, no, these words are the words you should be saying. And there's no surprise, AI booth, AI photo booths, image you get out of the AI photo booths, the photos you get at the AI photo booth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They score way, way higher. It'll also automatically take out the negative keywords. These are the negative words that you shouldn't be using, that although they might score in one test or another, you should not be using them at all. And you can see they have a very low score, 10. These are the words that you shouldn't be using at all. And in the future systems, I want to give them a -10, so they have a 0 score, because these words should not be used at all, even though maybe some of your competitors are using them in the BERT test, for example, or maybe in some tests, they're just clinger-on words that sneak in there like YouTube, you shouldn't be using. CA, you shouldn't be using. Generator, you shouldn't be using because they are negative correlated. I've used an NLP AI to analyze them, and actually they don't score well at all. Okay, so that's in general how it works when you do the full testing. We've done one here for you in Spray and Pray, which is good enough to get some quick and dirty rankings for these low-hanging fruit. It's fine. And so this is what it looks like for your actual keyword here, Roger. Horizon funding keyword. Horizon funding UK. Look at the drop between Horizon Europe and the UK, 150 to 48. It's 3 times is used. Research and innovation is way higher than the UK government. So research and innovation and Horizon Europe are the major entities that RankBrain would like to see here. And Horizon Europe is another one here. And then as well, association to, I'll just move this up here. Association to Horizon Europe is got a pretty big jump compared to, say, request grants. And it's all tallied up for you here in the results. You don't need to really look at the rest of the reports. It's kind of redundant. It skipped these 2 tests because it's doing Spray and Pray, but it still has these BERT testing it's doing. It still finds you the right phrases. So you tell me, is the BERT phrase find funding opportunities in the UK and Europe through Horizon
Absolutely.
programs?
Spot on.
That's spot on, right? And so your page better be focused on that, because look at the score it got. It got a score of 38. The AI knows, right? The AI knows. It knows this is what your page should be about. So you better, if you want to rank for Horizon Funding UK, your H1 better be how to find funding opportunities in the UK and Europe through Horizon programs. Like that better be your H1 in title, or something very close to it, right?
Yeah.
And then also it gives you the other ideas that you might not have thought of doing, like funding scheme, funding support, funding rounds, startup funding, funding source, funding opportunity. It starts giving you the scores. Now these are very low scored compared to this one. And that's how I would read this data, by the way. Like what's the comparison between these?
Yeah, that's such a big drop,
Also, you start getting other words to use here. Scientist Association, Funding Europe, et cetera, et cetera. Funding Europe in the UK, research program. Those were some of the words that we talked about that were really important. And this would be even more accurate if I had done all the rest of the tests. But the full test can take up to an hour to do, because we have to, again,
that's fine.
have to build a model. This Spray and Pray report was done for you in, what was it, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So it can be super fast to crank out pages in this tool. And then once you crank out 10 pages in this tool that you already did the keyword discovery on, you know they're really easy to rank for, and you get them ranking on page 2 to 4, then you redo the report in Keyword Spy, but this time you say more accurate testing. And then it'll do the full report for you. And it can even auto-generate the article here for you, unless you already have it. You already have the page ranking, so presumably you don't need to rewrite the article entirely. You just do a more accurate testing report, like I did here for AI Photo Booth. And then you go into the results and you go, okay, let me check to see the numbers now that I have done all the full scope of testing that this tool does and no other tool does.
Okay.
So what do you think about that, Roger? Would you say that this Horizon funding is helping you out finding your keywords or what you want to know, what you want your
it's interesting, isn't it? It's by far the best thing I've seen.
Yeah. We're really proud of it. It really does. I mean, I have no end of wins of my students using this, of my employees using this, of Greg using this, of Greg's employees using this, of consulting agencies using this, and of my using this for my clients. I have no end of wins with the system. I know exactly from the back end when sites go wrong and when pages go wrong. I see their numbers and I go, okay, we're not doing that. And I see when they go right, and I can guide everyone in the system for the right numbers. Speaking of which, I'll show you what the right numbers look like in the editor. Let's go to the editor and let's go to Horizon Funding UK. So here's the blank content editor. And I'm going to just click generate article and let it generate while I'm explaining what's going on. So I'm going to click generate article. Soon here, we're going to have a high quality article option. It's going to eat up twice the amount of tokens, but the quality of the article is going to be that much higher. Our article is already pretty high quality, as you're about to see, but we're going to have an AI Copilot, which is going to do like 8, 10, 12 writes and rewrites, getting the article just right. And making it a much higher quality article. And that eats up our resources in the back end. So we need to, the system works on tokens. Every time you generate a report, it eats up tokens. You get something like, I don't know, like 5 million tokens or something like that. It's very generous how many tokens we give you. And to generate a high quality article, it's going to have to eat up a little bit more tokens, but you'll still get to do quite a few. So we're going to generate an article now. So this keyword we were going for here was Horizon Funding UK. Would that make sense for UK searchers to have it on your homepage, or is it a subpage?
No, it could. If it was Horizon Europe without the UK, that would make sense.
Okay.
So but we want to rank for UK, don't we? So
yeah, this is a subpage. So it's Horizon Funding UK is the page that we're making here, hypothetically.
Okay. So no, that's fine. I mean, that has a lot of resonance with the people that are searching.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a huge political thing at the moment in the UK.
Yeah, definitely. And you're going to key onto that word of mouth. You're going to key onto that social media sharing and whatnot. People are going to find your page. It's going to be useful to them. They're going to share it. And also, when you start ranking for Horizon Funding UK, you get that much closer to being able to rank for funding for Horizon Europe or those other related queries, right? Because we're building up relevancy on the site. The entire site is relevant to the general topic at hand. And that's why we need to find the low-hanging fruit in the first place to build up the easiest pages to start getting relevancy in that particular topic.
So what if my site's already got articles on it?
That's fine. You can edit those articles in here. You can edit them here. You can copy and paste them here into Keyword Spy. You can click import and put the URL and it gets automatically imported into Keyword Spy. You can edit them here. As well, you can edit them and get your content scores right, and you can get your predictability scores right and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But just so I can get this going here, so what's your author name? Are you using your own personal name, or who's
using me because I have written some articles there. So
okay, so Roger Pitfield. Yeah, Roger Pitfield, and then you're an expert. On Horizon Europe.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for Horizon Funding UK, where in the sales cycle do you feel that is? Do you think they're still in the complete information gathering stage? They don't even know what Horizon Funding is?
No.
Or are they ready to buy? I think it's in the
middle
of the
sales.
Buy.
No, they're ready to buy.
Yeah, I think it's getting close to the lower end of the sales cycle. I think Horizon Funding UK is someone who's looking for more.
They know what Horizon Europe is. Yeah. They're looking for advice on access.
So you think they actually want to get access. We're at the bottom of the sales funnel here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll select bottom of the sales funnel. I'll tell it to do my URL, title, and meta description at the same time. And so when you want to do a meta description, it wants to do the angle, the particular angle for it. I'll leave it alone. Do we have any particular perks? The normal perks would be like 25% off, free parking, buy one, get one free. Perks are really good for ranking. Do you have any particular perks?
No, not at the moment, but we could, I mean.
Okay, that's something to consider having for sure.
Leave it off, yeah.
Yeah, do you have any particular angle, like you're better to do this with, or any particular angle?
Yeah, basically they can access information in one place. I mean, it's a portal. It's a consolidator in a sense. It brings together a huge amount of data into one place that they can then filter specifically for themselves, which they cannot do anywhere else at the moment.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll definitely put that in the meta description for sure. Yeah. So the angle is access all the info all in one place, filter based on your needs.
Yeah.
How about even an advanced
algorithm? Yeah, it is very advanced. Yeah.
I don't know if I spelled that correctly, but it will. An advanced algorithm filters based on your needs. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Based on your research needs.
Sure. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so it's going to do all that for us automatically. We just had to give it a little guidance to give it the best sales, because at the end of the day, you need to give it the best sales aspect of what's going on. So I'll say continue. Okay. So now this is going to go and generate me an article. And it's going to do it all based off all the information that we talked about there. So while it's working on it, while it's building up the article, let me show you the scores that are important. So the content score is one score that's very important in terms of the entire, they used to call it keyword density.
Yeah.
It's a much more complex calculation than just keyword density now, but effectively the idea is the same. This is telling you your total score of all of the words we looked at in the report that you want to be using. And it tells you the range you need to be in. Your competitors are at 67% potent, if you will, or 67%, it's not density, but 67% potency. We know from our statistics that you will get, on average, up to a 12-spot boost if you are within this range.
Right.
The statistical data I have on this is very, very strong, very strong. If you are over this number by 5%, you might get a 2-spot boost. If you're over this number by 10%, you might get a 2-spot boost. If you are under this number by any percentage, you will get a precipitous drop of increasing markedly if you're too high on far under. This is the Goldilocks zone. Over this is over optimized a little bit, especially if you're more than 10 over this or more than 20 over this. You start to get like a -4 drop.
That's suspiciously, yeah.
Exactly, it's over optimized. You need to be in the Goldilocks zone. And this is based not on our guess. This is not based off of SEO rules of thumb from 15 years ago, like every other tool. This is based on the statistical data of where our clients' pages are actually ranking, is where this is based off of. So that's revolutionary. Nobody else has that, right? So this red number will tell you if you need to go higher or lower, and it'll put the number here. And right out of the box, the article will have a certain number that's going to have a very good content score. It'll probably be over. We tend to overcook the articles on purpose so that you can remove and edit and take things out. It's much easier to remove than it is to add it.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So we go high and we let you click the improve button, or pretty soon that's going to be put right here in terms of boost this score and drop this score. It's going to be moved into these areas pretty soon. Yeah. Another thing that we have is HEAT. Again, that stands for helpfulness, experience, expertise, authority, and trust. EAT has been a long known acronym in Google's circles of high quality content. High quality content has EAT. It has expertise, experience, authority, and trust. And our AI generates it using the actual questions of that Google has actually supplied. We built an AI off of the actual Google recommendations, straight from Google's mouth. They said, do you have this? Do you have that? Are you a good review? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have expertise? Are you talking about it from an expert perspective? Do you show the proper stats? Is it true? Is it factual? Blah, 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 blah. Our AI goes and does all that research for you and builds the article based off of it. Not only does it build the article based off of it, but we have a score, a proprietary score, and we score your competitors and how helpful they are. And on average, your competitors are 66%. And our out-of-the-box article typically knocks this out of the water and is more helpful. And it shows more experience, it shows more expertise, it shows more authority, and it shows more trust, which means you're going to rank better and you're going to convert better. You're going to please your users better. It's going to be a better article. Then down here under quality, we have some important ones: readability, sentiment, whether it's a positive article or negative. This actually matters in terms of ranking. If everyone else has a positive article, you should too. If everyone else has a negative article, you should as well. This is the one that really matters in terms of statistically seeing whether they rank or they don't. And this is the average predictability length metric. This is a proprietary metric that we use that nobody else uses. It's based on the GLTR technology, and it checks the statistical usage of your words in your sentence and how predictable they are in order. So, for example, if I say knock, knock, the statistical answer could be who's there, right? And there's 4 words in order: knock, knock, who's there. And so those are all very predictable. And so we'd have a very high predictability. All 4 words would be predictable. We'd have a score of 4 point something, right? Because those words are highly predictable. It turns out that AI generated content, if you just fire up ChatGPT and get it to write any old crappy article, it will be through the roof predictable in the order of words. And that's how Google will find you. Google will nab you because it notices that, hey, there's no way a human would use 8 words in a row that's so predictable like that, right? That's how it's like flipping a coin 8 times and guessing it every time. You know how hard that is? Really, really hard, right? It's to the exponent of 8, difficulty. So that means an AI probably wrote it. And so this is the number we watch. This is the number we try to keep low. And the number you need to be at statistically is spot 1 to 2 is 3.9 words on average of predictability. Whether it's human written or AI written, it doesn't matter. Google doesn't care or doesn't know if it's human written or AI written. Like the pages that ranked very poorly were like 6, 7, or 8, or even 20 words in order that were terrible. The pages that ranked number spot 1 or 2, they were on average 3.9 to 4.1 here. And that's why that's our Goldilocks zone
that's good,
in the system. That's why it's our Goldilocks zone in the system. And for predictability overall, it is 71%. Anything under 71% tends to rank really well. Anything over 71% tends to rank poorly. The more over 71% in general predictability, the worse it ranks. The more over 4.1 in general predictability, the worse it ranks. The more it approaches 3.9 to 4.1, the better it ranks. And this is after thousands of pages being analyzed in our system. So it's highly, highly precise. Okay, so I'm going to reload this page here, and boom, the article is done. Now what I'm going to do is it's automatically reading your quality. And as I said, right out of the box, it gives you a not bad average predictability. And a not bad predictability, this only needs to go down 5 points to 7.1, although your competitors are 63. So if you want to be extra safe, you need to start approaching your competitors at 63 predictability.
Yeah,
your competitors.
I would look at that article and know that I would change it.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Your average predictability length, as I said, your competitors are at 4.2, rounded up, exactly where I said they should be for page 1. And you were at 5 right out of the box. So we definitely want to improve that, move that down, and I'll show you how to do that. And then let's check out your content score here. Your content score out of the box, like I said, we shoot high. You're way too rich. It needs to come down, but we shoot high on purpose. And so we shoot high on purpose for this number. We shoot high on purpose for this number because it's easier to remove than it is to add. Right out of the box, let's check your heat score. Let's see how helpful this article is out of the box. And it should be over the 66%. We, on average, usually for any article we generate from the AI, is usually more expert written than any human would do or could do on average. And we are. We're at 73%. And it even gives you the report as to where you're low and what could be improved, right? It even gives you the report. And these questions are directly from Google. These are the actual questions Google uses to train their AIs. And so we know for a fact that this is going to help you, right? So does the content provide insightful analysis or interesting information that is beyond the obvious? 6 out of 10. So we should probably address that in here. It's probably something you saw. Do you expect to see this content referenced in a printed magazine or encyclopedia book? 7. Is there any other 6s here? There might be another 6. It depends how spammy the niche is. No, 7 is the lowest we got here, other than just this one 6. So here we are. So we need to make the content more insightful. We need to make it more interesting beyond what is obvious. Now, you might be like, Josh, in my niche, it's all obvious. There's nothing exciting about it. Whatever, I sell sprockets. It's going to be really obvious information. That's fine. Try to zhuzh it up as much as you can, right? And in the future, we're now building an improve article button that when you click the improve article button, the whole thing gets improved, and it's even that much more better in the heat score, because we do iterations. We do a heat score, we check, not good enough. We do it again, we check, not good enough. We do it again, we check, not good enough. We're rewriting it multiple times in a very advanced AI way that nobody else is doing in SEO. Okay, so here's the article that we got. And out of the box, it's not bad. Let's look at the SEO stuff. Horizon Funding Association, not too bad. Here's the title, Horizon Funding UK. Support European scientists with Horizon Funding UK. Not too bad, not too bad. We see the EMQ in here twice. I would change that, quite frankly, personally. And the advanced AIs I'm going to build will be improving that. But it's not too bad of a title tag. And the meta description, unlock your research potential with Horizon Funding UK. Access all the info you need in one place. Thanks to our advanced algorithm that filters based on your specific research needs. Don't miss out. Start funding your future today. From a sales perspective, it sounds really good. Again, I don't know anything about this topic, but I'm suspecting that the AI got confused, given that, and it depends on the topic. If it's not a very well talked about topic, it's not going to have good source information. But you would probably want to edit this, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not Horizon Funding UK. You're just writing a page about Horizon Funding UK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's still a guide, and so there's a whole raft of stuff in there that you wouldn't, because actually it's written very flowery, and this is a clinical audience. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I would change in that, not because it's wrong, but because the quality of the writing is not matching the audience.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah. So tapestry of funding is not what a scientist wants to hear.
Sure.
Yeah. So but the core, the article is there. The core, the article is there. It's done done everything that you would do, but it's done it in 3-4 minutes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It instead of 3 or 4 hours, it took 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And now we can edit from here. So we have for the H1, which is really important, we have Horizon Funding UK. Support European scientists with Horizon Funding UK. That's not the greatest H1. We have another H1 tool. So let me save this here. Let me make sure it's saved. Let's go to AI Spy and skip all this. Let's go to the H1 version 2. And let's choose Horizon Funding UK, and let's submit that one. And sometimes you come up with a better H1. How do you like this one? New funding opportunities on the horizon in the UK. Explore the UK's funding horizon today. Find your funding with Horizon UK. Do you like that better?
Got to be Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is the title. But yeah.
Sure. Yeah, okay. So I'll take that. I'll put that here.
Yeah.
And then with the WYSIWYG editor, I will make that a level 1 heading.
Yeah.
Explore funding.
It would be explore the UK's Horizon Europe funding. So it's
There we go. Horizon Europe, and this is a good example, because this is a very tricky tricky thing for the AI to understand. That what do you mean?
Because actually, it's treating Horizon Europe as 2 different words as opposed to a statement.
Yeah. Okay. So new funding opportunities in the horizon in the UK. Explore the UK's Horizon Europe funding today.
Yeah, that's good, particularly in the context of the situation at the moment.
And it's got a call to action. It's got a verb. It says today it uses at least one or two of the top 5 power psychology words that are proven through social science to increase conversions. Today or now, a date signal. Also, it has the funding you want, so that's good. Presumably, people want funding, and it's got the name recognition you want to include, and you're telling them it's relevant to them, and you've got the verb, which is another top 5 power psychology word: explore, get, find, download. Some kind of verb for them to do. So that's very good. All right. So now, but you're like, okay, Josh, back in the day, you would manually edit this. You'd manually read it. You'd manually edit it. And we still recommend, until we have the high quality article, you should manually read this, because AIs now are great. And we've saved you 3 or 4 hours of writing, but you still need to edit this and see, oh, here's a list. I need to make this into a list. Okay, fine. Oh, look, I need to do this. I need to edit that. Oh, look, it's not factual here. Some of this information is out of date. Again, until we have the improve entire article or high quality article option, you still need to edit it. But still, you're saving hours.
Hours and hours. Yeah, actually, yeah.
But what if you're like, okay, what if I just want to improve this really quick and get it going quick and dirty? No problem. What you do is you go down here to the end. We want to get these numbers into variance, right? The improve button will reduce this number and reduce this number, which is what you want to do. What I'm going to do is take section 6 here. It'll also reduce the word count. Your word count is way above the median word count that you want. The median word count is 1,200. You're at 2,900. It's way too much. And that's part of the reason why this number is so high, and part of the reason why this number is so high. So the improve button, what it'll do is it will rewrite that paragraph. It'll put it into paragraph form, so you don't need to format the whole thing. And it'll rewrite the whole thing, replace it, close. And you see it's much shorter now. It kept the numbers. You can make a list out of this if you want. And then, but it's going to bring these numbers down. So once we do a bunch of these paragraphs here and improve those, we're going to see these numbers drastically reduce, which is what you want to do. You want to reduce them just enough to be in the variance, and then you go with it. And pressing a couple buttons is way easier than reading it,
absolutely,
understanding it, and writing it. I can't tell you how many times as an SEO I've had to become a subject matter expert on plumbing or locksmithing or something like that I didn't know anything about. I have nothing to add to this conversation. Why am I writing this? Get the AI to write it for you. It is an expert on this. And then how do I improve it to get the right numbers? You have to start sneaking words into paragraphs and start sneaking words into H1s just to sneak the terrible SEO text in there. No, you don't. Just click the improve button and reduce the word count, reduce the predictability length, and reduce the content score, the potency, the density, into the guaranteed to boost you frequencies. And you got that spot 4 that I promised you. Okay, great. So I've done 3 sections now. I've got 2 sections left. Now, you might ask, so let me redo the content score. See, it's going down. Let me redo the quality. This number hopefully should go down. It's starting to go down, yeah. And the words are going down, right?
Yeah.
So section 4, section 3, section 2. We still are got quite a lot of information. You might want to start reading through and now start removing stuff that doesn't need to be there. Place and close. And there we go. So I've replaced a fair amount of the article now. This number is coming down to where you need it to be. 1 paragraph might not be enough to see a big difference, but it is. Boom. Big, huge difference. Now we're only 0.26 points off where we need to be. 4.36 is good. 0.73 is not that far off from the statistical 4.1 we need to be at. This is not that far off from the 0.7 we need to be at. We're at 1,900 words, right? And I have 1 paragraph left. I could even improve that. Replace it, close, rerun the content score, rerun the quality. We've got a lot of keywords in here that we've used in content. You can see the higher scored words we're using here, the higher scored phrases as well. If I go just to words and sort by score, you see it's counting up all the words you're using, how many times you're using the EMQ, association program, and it's showing you some of the missing entities that you might want to add to make sure that you rank for it. This is where you might need to go back to the old SEO and sneakily stick a few in there. So what I need to do is it's too long. Section 6 is too much for the whole thing. So what I need to do is remove that, redo the content score. You see it starts dropping precipitously. Now we're under the 4.1. Now we're under the 7.1. This is perfectly fine. There's no more AI problems statistically for this at all, right? As far as our stats are concerned, this wasn't even written by an AI. It wasn't even written by an AI. And then I could also keep working on it and get this down between 56 and 66. I bet you if I get rid of this last post-application process, if I get rid of this, I bet you I'll have it low enough to be perfect. There we go. Now I'm right in frequency.
Yeah.
And I'm right in frequency for these guys. This number might jostle around a bit. Boom, it's perfect. This article is now perfect. This is good enough to go. Now you can share this with anyone for them to edit it, and they can edit it. They can approve it. They can look at it. For spray and pray, how long did that take us? Because I was explaining everything, it took twice as long.
Yeah.
This would have been 20 minutes, 45 minutes in total for a page that is statistically guaranteeing you page 4 or 5, right?
Okay.
And then after you've got it ranking, now you can dial it in with even better numbers, and you can do 10 of these a day, right? You can do 10 of these a day. You can do 5 of these a day if you want to have an easy day. And after that, you've got hundreds of pages on your site after a few months. You've built up the authority. You've built up the site weight, and you're ranking on many, many pages. Your long tail queries are starting to really get rankings, get traffic. And if you've got a good program, you've got a good articles, you've got information, and you do, this is very helpful, right? If you want to improve it, all you have to do is just make it more insightful and interesting beyond the obvious. You need to use your human brain, or you need to bounce ideas off the AI that we're building into this to how do I make this more interesting? What do I do? And it'll do that for you. And it didn't take long at all.
No. Yeah.
So these numbers are perfect. You could publish this. You can click export and you'll get an HTML, text or doc format. You can again share it with any of editors, but people need to edit it, or a client if they need to approve it before you even get rid of it. Or you could just take this and copy and paste it right into WordPress into another WYSIWYG editor, and it should retain all the formatting as well.
Yeah, so we do direct. We're using PHP direct, so we'd have to take the HTML.
So there you go. Just take the HTML there, or you click the export button and download the HTML there. No problem. Let me just show you a few other features that we got here that I think are really good too. So AI Spy is another section of the program here. It does some of the helpful content review AI stuff here for you as well. You can see some of the magic behind the scenes. Again, you have a complete thing to do with the URL, title, meta, and H1s here as well, plus 2 different versions of H1 and meta description, which I like, that work really well. We have an AI detector that if you're having trouble getting that predictability down here. So let me go back here to the article that we made. And if I'm not, I'm in the perfect numbers. But let's say I'm having trouble getting the numbers down. I can put it in here and I can analyze the text. And it's going to show me actually in color coding where the problems are. It's going to show me where the red text or the predictable text is. And I can start changing this text. The red text is actually the highest predictability. Then we got orange. And then we got whatever color this is, and then the blue.
So basically, we would be looking for anything over 4. So there's only really one red bit that's really any problem.
On average, your word predictability is 3.34, and your overall predictability is 66%. And your worst sentence is 9 words in a row, or 9 tokens actually, word pieces in a row that are highly predictable. That is great stats, and our stats show that that should have no problem indexing on a regular site. And that should have no problem ranking on a regular site. If an article like this doesn't rank on a regular site, then either you've gone for a keyword that is way too hard to go for, and or your site has problems, which is to say the same thing, quite frankly. It means your site either doesn't have enough pluses in its plus column, or it has too many minuses in its minus column. It has too much spam, too many spammy pages, too many spammy links, too many
There's none.
bounces, too many signals for Google's AI called spam brain that this site is a spammy site. I don't want to rank them. This content should rank on any healthy site. Of course, not this paragraph alone. You need more than a paragraph usually.
Yeah, I understand.
But this kind of content should rank on any site. The other things I want to show you here is the query intent finder. This is a really good keyword, a tool to use to find, again, what exactly, and you can use the winning words in here or not, and what exactly is this about? It's about finding funding opportunities in the UK and Europe through Horizon programs. Again, you said that's exactly what this is about.
Yeah.
That's where it can tell you what you should be writing about. What are people looking for? That's what it's about. And finally, featured snippet. This is really important. If you want to get that informational snippet at the top of Google, this is scientifically proven to do it for you. This is scientifically proven to do it for you. If you put this short summary beside an image that has the name Horizon Funding UK or is about Horizon Funding UK, if there is any such image, like if it was ballet for adults, if I put a picture of a ballet class, of people at a ballet class, beside this paragraph, which is less than 35 to 45 words, we have the maximal statistical chance of snagging that featured snippet. And you can do that anywhere from page 2 and up. So you can get a boost to spot 0, above spot 1 on page 1 by using this AI. It is statistically proven to do that. It has all the magical keywords in it that you're supposed to have. For example, it says, Horizon Funding in the UK provides financial support for innovative research and development projects. It aims to promote scientific advancements across various sectors. Organizations can apply for grants through different programs, such as Horizon Europe, to fund their projects and drive innovation within the country. Other than talking about this like it's a major thing, which is not such a problem, would you say this was an accurate, perfectly accurate sentence?
Yeah. I mean, I could get picky about it, but yeah, actually it says it really. Yeah.
And you can always edit this, of course. It's 2 sentences. To edit 2 sentences is not a problem. And any SEO worth their salt is going to want to edit it a little bit, right? They're going to want to get their 2 cents in there. But if you're moving fast and you're doing spray and pray, and you want to build 5 pages a day, 5 days a week, 100 pages a month to get a site to have the weight to rank that you need, which is what I recommend people do to start off with, is just get the site content up there.
Yeah.
To use a tool like ours, in 2 months, in a month, you've built 100 pages for our current grandfathered price of $144. That's $1.44 a page. That is guaranteed to rank somewhere if your site is healthy. Would you pay $1.44 per page to rank somewhere? Guaranteed?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good price per page, I think, quite frankly. So I love the featured snippet. That's another jewel in our system. And then lastly, the last thing is topical cluster. Let's say you're like, hey, Josh, what about this knowledge graph? Now, this one wasn't a good example. For Horizon Funding UK, it's like, I don't have anything on this. This doesn't exist. This is something people are searching, but it's not something that is real. Okay, clear. Right. So let's go to the prompt here. Let's go type in Horizon Europe.
Yeah.
That's what your site's actually about. And it goes, boom, here is the topical cluster hierarchy or the knowledge graph entities that is proven through our system as well to boost your site from ranking. So not only would you do all the low-hanging fruit from keyword discovery, which are also money pages that also make you money, you would also do the topical cluster supporting pages. And it starts at Horizon Europe, and it does these. And you tell me these are good. European Union, Research and Innovation, Framework Program, Funding, Scientific Excellence.
I have pages and all of that.
Yeah, as you should. Industrial Leadership, Societal Challenges, European Research Council, the Mary something something, Curie Actions, and the research infrastructures. You should have a page focused on all of these is what you should have pages focused on.
Yeah.
So you copy and paste this, and then you go, okay, Horizon Europe, European Union. You do a report on those. You actually go here and you paste in all 10 actually, and you go like this, Horizon Europe, European Union, right? Horizon Europe in the European Union, you can phrase it however you want, and then you say submit bulk, and then you have to select a location, whatever, blah, 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 submit bulk, and it would build all up to 10 pages for you from that topical cluster builder. Now we're gonna build in here, and it's gonna be a page cluster builder that automatically links them for you, automatically puts a table of contents, and builds that all automatically for you in HTML, to which you can import any which way you want, or you can import your WordPress. When we're out of beta, we're going to be building that. I would recommend getting in on the beta pricing now of the grandfather pricing of a 144. Just email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com or Greg directly, and we'll get you that grandfather pricing, because technically the tool's still in beta. Technically, we're not even out of beta yet. But I don't know. I think a $1.44 a page, guaranteed to rank somewhere in Google, as long as your site is healthy. I think that's a pretty good deal, personally. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got it up here. Get started for free, so I'm gonna get. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, and of course you can go to trykeywordspy.com and try the system free for 2 weeks. No credit card needed, no email needed.
Okay.
So Roger, I don't know. I think that's pretty good. What are your thoughts? Are you super pumped to use the system?
Yeah, actually, I do like it. I'm gonna have to get somebody to look at my site that isn't me, and tell me whether it's actually. Yeah, and they need to look at my site and say, look, okay, this is a good site. You need to do this. And I think that's where I'm. But yeah, this looks pretty awesome, really.
Yeah, this does all your site building for you, and that's why we made it, right? Because we make sites ourselves, and we're tired of doing it manually. Like, can't an AI do this? The answer is yes. An AI can do this, right? Yeah. So I use it, Greg uses it. We're trying to rank. We build ranking sites all the time. We're tired of doing this manually. We're tired of paying people on Upwork to do it and taking days to do it. So now we have an AI doing it, and we still have the same employees, but they're using this, and they do it much faster. It keeps them honest. It goes much faster. It has that benefit too, and we see what they're doing in the system. So it has control. It has all these features built in. So yeah, and you asked, what would I do with my site? This is what I would do with it. I would build out these low hanging fruit pages first, right? Yeah. I'll send you all this after we get off the call. I'll send you an email, all this data. I would build out these low hanging fruit pages first, and see your rankings grow. And then I would get more consulting from there. What else do I do? What kind of links? What kind of this? What kind of that? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Do you provide that sort of service?
I sure do. Yeah, that's possible. Again, just email me. You have my email, but it's joshbachynski@gmail.com. And we can definitely talk about the other kind of services that we have.
Yeah, you will get an email, because I think I need somebody to look at the site.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that.
It's been a real joy listening to you and talking to you.
Yeah, I know it's late where you are. I'll stop talking right away. But I just want to drive home. But you can do it yourself, right? You can, with this tool, you can build the pages out. Don't hire an expensive SEO to build the pages out. Yeah. Build the pages out yourself with this tool. Yeah. Again, as many as you can build a month. Build them out after doing the keyword discovery research and the topical cluster research. Build out those pages, get them all linked properly in your system, get them all indexed, see that they will rank, and they will rank if the numbers are right. And if your site's healthy, they will rank. If they don't rank, that tells you right away the site's not healthy, call me. And that's when I get parachuted in and I start taking a look at stuff. They start ranking well. You're like, great, I've built this all up. You might be like, hey, Josh, I don't even need you. I built it all up. I've got the traffic I want now. Now I am ranking for Horizon Europe, the big juicy keyword, because you built up the supporting pages. You got to build the support for the house first. So build up the supporting pages, and Keyword Spy can definitely help you do that.
Fabulous.
All right, Roger. Well, I know it's late where you are.
I look forward to hearing your email.
Sure. I know it's late where you are. I'll send that stuff to you. And if you have any more questions, let me know, and we'll take it from there. So good luck with the system. Build out the pages. Build your base, and the rest will follow.
Thanks, mate. Take care. Good night.
Talk to you soon.